What's up, interweb? RhyQuinn here, and welcome to the Meet the Coach interviews. I'm going to be doing half of them for the GBA D-League Season 2. The other half will be done by Old Man Tup. So today you're seeing my first one, and that is, I am joined by the one and only 8BitInsomniac.
Hi.
So, obviously, like, for those of you that don't know, me and 8BitInsomniac, Ellie, whatever you want to call her, we're actually really good friends. So, this should be fun.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are.
Oh.
Why am I here?
Oh. Okay. Well, that was the interview. Thank you very much for watching. No, kidding. So we'll just start with like a basic question, which is like, how long have you been playing like Pokemon? Just Pokemon.
Well, I've been playing it since I can remember. Like, I grew up with like Nintendo. My 3 older brothers had like GameCubes and Nintendo 64s. And stuff like that. And I remember when I first got my Pokemon game, Pokemon Silver, I was about 6, and I just fell in love with it from there. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So in terms of like competitive battling, then, how long have you actually done competitive for?
I'd say like January last year. I started watching. Well, I found Pyrotos and started watching his channel, and then got introduced to the rest of the community like Fufu and Dundeel and people like that, so I got into competitive through those guys. That's
awesome. So it's not like, you know, people have been saying like a lot of other coaches in the GBA, not necessarily in D-League and stuff, but they've been playing since like 4th gen, 5th gen, and then there's us, who, you know, 6th gen noobs. But yeah. Having said that though, do you have any experience in a league format? Well, obviously I know the answer to this, but do you have any experience in a league format before?
Yeah. I was part of the Pokemon Premier League for their Season 1. I was representing the Teddington Teddiurses, and we finished 2nd overall. And fun fact, had the finalist not got a frozen, yep. Had the finalist not got how do you word this? I'm struggling.
Had he not got a freeze on my Mega Altaria, damn it, then Ellie would have won the league.
Yep. So yeah. There it is. I would have came first if it wasn't for Hans, but hey ho.
Yeah, you only had that chance though because I played so well in that last match. Don't forget that. You owe me. Okay?
You freaking did though.
Sort of.
I mean, I already owe you pizza.
I mean,
we're getting sidetracks.
EGX IMO. Anyway. Obviously with this kind of drafting, it's actually very similar in the Pokemon Premier League too, but obviously with this somewhat new style of GBA drafting, you have the different tiers, and obviously you have to draft some lower tier stuff. That's a natural requirement, plus with the amount of points you have, you end up having to draft some lower tier stuff. So are you pretty comfortable using lower tier mons? Do you play like lower tiers on Showdown?
I mean, NU is like one of my favourite tiers. There's been a lot of changes recently. I knew Gallade got moved down and then went back up to RU in like a couple days. Combuskin there at the moment is doing a lot of work, so it's probably going to get banned. But yeah, I'm really comfortable with NU and RU tiers.
That's cool then. So in terms of like your draft then, so it was like a quick look at it. It should be on the screen as well. But your final draft for the Accrington Stantlers for the GBA D-League Season 2 is Latias, Infinite, Florges, Vaporeon, Roserade, Scizor, Heliolisk, Sandslash, Sigilyph, Regirock, and Mega Sableye.
Indeed.
Are you pretty happy with your draft?
Yeah, like originally, like there are a couple ones on there that weren't supposed to be, well, not supposed to, but like I wanted different mons, but obviously in a league format you're bound to get sniped during drafting, and a couple times I got really upset, and one time in particular is when I really wanted Cobalion because I had my heart set on that thing, and I was like, screw it, you know what, I'm just gonna draft a better steel type, and I just grabbed Scizor round 6. In a way I kind of regret it, because it was a really expensive pick to do like in that short amount of time. I didn't really think about it. But yeah, like it's given me a lot of physical presence. So.
Exactly, it's still a Scizor at the end of the day. Like, it's still a Scizor.
Yeah, exactly.
But you were saying you were pretty comfortable with your with using lower tier mons. If we look at some of the lower tier picks that you had in this draft, we have things like Sandslash and Regirock and Sigilyph. Are you pretty familiar using those guys, or do they just sound good on paper?
I mean, I've used Regirock and Sandslash a lot in NU. Regirock is like one of the biggest staples in my team building at the moment. Because it's just so good defensively as well as offensively as well. I'm kind of iffy about the Sandslash pick because I realised I didn't have a electric immunity, and I was like, well, Sandslash is pretty cheap, and it's also a spinner, so you know it could offer me options to hazard stack. But looking back on it, maybe I should have drafted like regular Manectric or something like that as my electric immunity, and then gotten like a better spinner or something like that.
That's actually really interesting. Because you did pick the Heliolisk the round before,
yeah.
So that would have freed up something else from that tier as well. That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe something to consider with free agency and all that stuff. But okay, with your draft then, and looking at everyone else's draft, I think it's been a very, very solid draft from the 8 teams. I don't think there's a particularly bad draft out of any of the 8 of them. So bearing that in mind, what are your expectations for this season? What do you want to achieve?
I mean, ideally I want to make playoffs, but I have a really tough division. I know Nick is a decent player. Like, I've seen him play. He was in the PPL before he had to leave due to personal reasons and stuff like that. But he's a good player, so I think there's going to be a bit of rivalry between me and Nick already, which is going to be interesting.
That's going to be very fun to watch. I can't wait. Yeah, his team is spooky. I'm just looking at it now.
It is so gross, Nick.
I know, it's so
Why did we let that happen?
I know, right? So, who are you most looking forward to playing this season?
Well, that's the thing. The 2 people I really want to play are Hardy and George, but unfortunately I will not be able to play them unless we all make playoffs, which is going to be tough. But it's possible, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah. No, it's definitely possible though, and I would definitely, for one, love to see a George versus you match.
Yeah, that would be
a fantastic
incredible
match to watch. So maybe even if you don't make it to playoffs for some unknown reason, if one of you doesn't make it to playoffs or don't end up playing each other, I'd still want to see that match in the off season.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen.
Make me a promise that match happens, please.
I mean, I don't even need to promise you because me and George have already like arranged it. So.
Oh well, there it is.
Spoiler alert!
Cool. Right then. So, who do you think, in your view, is someone to watch out for this season that obviously isn't yourself?
I mean, we could go with the obvious answer and go with George. His draft is absolutely fantastic. Like, I can't fault it. I can, like, I really can't. I have a feeling that he is gonna, like, either go undefeated or he's gonna have a lot of prep. Like, he is gonna be hard to take down.
Yeah,
I think Nick as well is going to be putting in a lot of work. And also Macady, I think he's one to watch out for. Because I've been preparing for our first match, and the more I look at his draft, the better it just gets. And it's just like, damn, Will's got a really good draft. And I think it's one that often gets overlooked because of all the lower tier mons in there. But like, just don't overlook the threats and the bulk he has. It's crazy.
Exactly, and you kind of just stole my last question, which was, how are you feeling about your first match against Mukade, the Buffalo
Well,
Bills?
there it is.
Well, I kind of just stole that, but...
I mean, I don't want to say I'm scared, because it'll give, you know, Will the upper hand and be like, oh, I've totally won this match already. But, like, yeah, I'm kind of scared.
I mean, the Hippowdon Excadrills combo is something I personally am very familiar with, and it is nothing to mess around with. It is a seriously deadly combo. Combined with all the other stuff in his draft, it is deadly. So that's going to be a good match as well. That's going to be very fun to see.
I'm not too concerned about Hippo though. If he brings Sand, I've got things to like kill Hippo in an instant. So
yeah.
I'm not overly concerned, but at the same time, I probably should be. So.
Never underestimate any threats.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Well then, I think that is going to wrap this up.
Woo!
So, I hope this has given everyone a little bit of an opportunity to get to know Ellie a little better. I don't know why you'd want to do that, because she's like a horrible person, right? But anyway, thank you very much for watching this Meet the Coach interview. Links will be in the description for Elliot's channel, of course. And if you're supporting 8BitInsomniac in this season of the GBA D-League Season 2, let us know in the comments. I'm sure both of us would want to see some support for these coaches. So, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys in another interview real soon. Toodaloo.
More like RhyQuinn.